Hello, thank you so much for downloading this little series of videos to demonstrate how one can coach someone who knows exactly what they need to be doing, but they're not doing it. We all know these types of situations. For some people, it's they want to get out and move. For other people, it's they want to lose weight. Or it's about stopping procrastination on a project. We all have these little issues where we know exactly what we want to do, but somehow we're not doing it. And I want to walk you through the gallery image that I also shared. You might have seen before. It's around on the web or on LinkedIn. And I want to give a little bit of explanation before you watch the videos with me and Anthony Quinn, who acted someone who wants to do more marketing. It's another traditional thing that a lot of people really procrastinate on. They know what to do. They've read the marketing books, but somehow it never happens. So after this video, you can watch the 4-part series on possible steps for such a coaching situation. I will walk you through the steps, and I'll share my screen for that. So coaching clients who know what to do, but they're not doing it. Here are the 4 quadrants. In the first quadrant of the coaching session, it might not be a quadrant, it might be a third or a fifth, it doesn't matter. It just depends. So that the goal of the first quadrant, the so-called ticket office, is to get a good coaching agreement, something that is, you could say, meaty enough, something that is really important for the client, something that is positively stated and not negatively stated. So oftentimes people would phrase their coaching goal negatively in these situations. So they would be saying something like, I want to stop procrastinating. So what you want to do is ask them for a positive description. So you want to stop procrastinating. What do you want to do instead? So then they might say something like, well, I would actually be going outside and moving 3 times a week. Okay. They've made that plan for probably a long time. So just planning more steps is not going to cut it. Usually people who have been putting things off and have been trying for a long time to get something done and they're not doing it, usually it's not about planning even more steps. At least that's my experience. So in the coaching agreement, you want to find out, okay, so if they achieved what they came to achieve, let's say moving more, what difference would it make to their life? Why is this important to them? What could be the joy in it so that it stops being a chore that they have to make themselves do, but that it is something that they are doing automatically. And the questions that are listed on the slide here, what are your best hopes from this session? You can also ask, what do you want to accomplish? So what do you want instead? What is important to you about this? And then at the end of this discussion, ask, so how would you summarize what you want from the session, so that at the end of the session, you can check whether this session has been useful for the client or not. And usually it will have been useful, because if 2 people sit together and one person is trying to help the other person, it is usually a useful thing to have done. The second step is the rich picture of the desired future. So ask the client to think about his or her life in which she or he automatically takes care of the things that he or she wants to take care of. And this makes the conversation much richer and broader. So you can ask this many different ways. You can say, suppose a miracle happened and you automatically were an active person who does everything that you want to do, what would be the first tiny sign in the next morning that would tell you this miracle happened? So having morphed into this person, what are the tiny, tiny differences in their lives that tell them, yes, I am now this person who can or who wants to move or whatever? In the example with Anthony, you will see that I asked him, so suppose he automatically did this marketing, or he was this version of himself who does the kind of marketing that he wants to do. How would he notice that? And then he starts talking about the fact that his children might notice, and that he would have decontaminated time because he would no longer be procrastinating. So suppose you manage what you want to achieve, and what would be better? What would be different? What else? What would you notice? What would other people notice? And if you want, you can use this mind map here, and you could say, okay, I would notice, and then you can write all the different things that you would notice. My family would notice. My colleagues at work would notice. And you can use the branches of the mind map to describe the different perspectives. So after you have that picture of the desired future very clear in the conversation, you can ask for signs that point to this future already happening, maybe in small, small, small ways. And in our demo, you will see Anthony answers at first, no, there's nothing. And oftentimes you will have that reaction, no, I've never done it, or I did it for a couple of days, but then I stopped doing it. And that's where you, as a coach, try to get really, really curious about the small, 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 small steps. So maybe even almost. So was there a time where you thought about going running and you almost went running? You didn't go running just yet, but you almost did it. So look at all the small things that the person already knows to do. Look at all the exceptions that generate hope, all the little signs that this miracle is already happening, to construct a story from or change the story from I am hopeless, I'm never going to achieve this, I am always going to be procrastinating, to okay, so I can achieve what I want to achieve. This is what I want. And there are little precursors. There are little signs that tell me, yes, this is possible. And in these little signs, you all probably, or most often, you can see also ideas of what the person can take forward. So the questions would be small signs. Then maybe there are also resources in the process. So maybe this person hasn't been able to convince him or herself to go running, but they've managed to do their bookkeeping every month and do this easily. And they found ways that make it agreeable to them to do the bookkeeping. So possibly in the resources about what the person knows about themselves, you could use those also to help the person discover their own ways of achieving things that they want to achieve, that they know they should do, but they're not doing. Then again, asking for small differences. You could scale on a scale of 1 to 10, where 10 is this miracle has happened and you're this version of yourself, and 1 is the opposite, where are you now? And what is already pointing toward being able to achieve this goal. You can also ask a confidence scale, where 10 is you're confident that you are going to achieve what you want to achieve. And until you really have a good picture of these are all the things that make you confident that you can now start doing what you want to do, or achieving what you want to achieve in a different way. Sometimes what also happens is that people discover through this process that what they came for is not what they want. So I had a coaching once where a person wanted to get fit, and their goal was, I want to go running every morning. And I asked, why do you, not why, I asked, so suppose you did go running, what would be different? I would be fit. I would enjoy movement. I would enjoy my life. Okay. And then on a scale of 0 to 10, where 10 is you're fit, you're enjoying your life, and 1 is the opposite, where are you now? They said they're at a 5. And it turns out that they love walking, not running, that they love dancing, that there's so many things where they enjoy movement, that this idea of going running every day wasn't really what they needed to be doing. In the picture of the successful past, they discovered, oh, let's just not do the running. Let's just take one other dance class during the week. And it's something I enjoy. It's something I do anyway. And it'll serve the same purpose as my idea of going running every morning. Step number 4 is the gift shop. So helping the client to design his or her future steps. So maybe asking, are they confident enough that whatever they've discovered is going to take them forward? Maybe they are already at a confidence level that's good for them, or maybe they need a step higher. What would they notice if they went that step higher? Is there anything else? Is there support that they can muster, someone that can support them? Sometimes it's also good to ask them how they can get themselves back on track should they slip. Because otherwise, if people have this idea of, if I slip once, all of this is going to be useless. All of this will have been in vain. That's not a very useful thoughts to entertain when you really want to make changes. So instead of saying, oh, I tried for 3 days and then I stopped, oh, everything's useless, try to ask, okay, so suppose you are on track for a bit and then you slip once. How are you going to get yourself back on track? So that the idea doesn't become that one slip is ruining this whole endeavor. For that, you could also ask, if you don't manage just yet, how can you keep up hope that you can achieve, that you can maybe the first experiment of getting the things done that they want to get done doesn't work out. It doesn't mean that they can't get it done. It just means that they need a different experiment. So do enjoy the session that I'm playing with Anthony. Just there to give you an impression of how this could go. This is not the most masterful coaching in the entire universe. It is a demo for you to see how this goes. If you want more information on this, I have really nice courses that also get you continuing coach education units, where we analyze masterful coaching sessions on different topics called Core Competencies in Action. It's a class that's available at www.solutionsacademy.com, or you can always contact me by writing an email to info@solutionsacademy.com, or even booking a free consultation at www.solutionsacademy.com/contact. But no worries, all of these addresses are also in on the last page of the document that you just downloaded. So please do get in touch. I love exploring coaching with other people. And if you have any good ideas of what I could have done differently, or additional ideas for the situation around, I know exactly what to do, but I'm just not doing it, please let me know. I'd be very, very happy to enter it into a discussion and to share my knowledge and with you. So without further ado, have fun.